Yo, what's up guys, Felix from Giant Lifestyle. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're sitting down with Rusty. He's going to tell us how to get started with real estate with inexpensive methods. So tell us first off, Rusty, who you are, where you're from, and what exactly are these inexpensive methods?
What's going on, guys? My name is Rusty Schaefer. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. Just moved down here to Florida a couple of years ago to take advantage of this lovely weather and the opportunity of vacation spots. And so I landed down here in Southwest Florida, and my background is I was a real estate agent up in Boston. And what I did up there, I worked with buyers, sellers, and investors. And along the path, I realized that there's got to be some other inexpensive way to get involved and become a landlord, start cash flowing without a huge, down payment for different real estate types and investments.
Perfect. So before we get into this video, be sure to check the description. I'm going to leave some of his social medias, his TikTok, and his course, which explains how to do what we're going to be talking about in this video. So really, how does this work? Can you explain how the process works? You don't have to explain everything, so we keep this video like under 15 minutes, but what is the process to how you're doing this?
Well, the idea is to, there's different spots all around the country, all around the world that attract travelers and vacation spots in places of interest that people want to vacation to. So that is the whole thing, is to find a perfect spot where you can place an RV and you can rent it out, because people don't necessarily want to go rent a condo. They might already live in a condo. They might not want to rent a house. They already live in a house. So they want something different, and that's what I provide. So I provide an RV, actually 3 RVs out by the beach. So the process is you purchase an RV that's going to fit where you're going to put it, either by the beach, mountains, desert, whatever the attraction is. And then what you do is you put it up for rent either on Airbnb, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and then you vet the people, take them through background checks, and then you rent it out.
So RVs, to my mind, is much cheaper than houses. Like when you think a house, I don't care if you live in the worst area or even some good areas, you're going to be looking to spend somewhere between maybe 50 and 100,000, right? With an RV, I know it's cheaper, but can you talk some numbers like, the lowest you could go if you got a few thousand to play with, or maybe you got 10, 20,000, like how much do you need? Like what's on the bare minimum you could start with? Like give us the lowest amount, and then give us like, if someone has a give us some numbers as far as how much you need to get this up and rocking.
Sure, absolutely. We all want to know numbers because that's what it always comes down to. So me personally, what I did, I spent anywhere between $6,000 and $12,000 per unit, and those cash flow very well. Those are going to cash flow $2,000 a month for me in my particular vacation area. You can find an RV as little as $3,000 or $4,000 that might need some renovations, might need some, some new flooring. It might need some roof repair. It might need some, things along that nature. Or you can go up and you can purchase a really nice fifth wheel, or even a destination trailer, for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. And just keep in mind, the higher price point, you can get more for those rentals.
Okay, so if you have like $2,000, is this something that's going to be suitable, or is it just, you need at least like 5 to 10 to make it happen? Yeah,
I would say around 5 or 10. If you're going to spend about $2,000, that thing's pretty much going to be in rough shape. It's going to need a new floor. It's going to need, so you say you have your $2,000, you're going to need another $3,000 or $4,000 to make it what you want. So you might as well just take that money and spend the 7 or 8 that it's going to take for it to be rent ready.
Okay, so I have a real estate background myself. What do a full gut cost, and what do maybe cosmetics cost? Full gut, for anybody who doesn't know, like you're ripping the whole thing apart down to, I guess maybe not the studs or the walls of the RV, but cosmetics, you're throwing some paint on the walls. What does those numbers look like?
Sure. Luckily, I'm also a contractor. So something like that. So if you get something that's going to need, new flooring, new windows, paint, it's going to need some new cabinets, a new shower, you're looking maybe at about $2,500 to $4,000 from soup to nuts, beginning to end.
Okay, cool. That's like labor. If I were to if I were to buy an RV to you and then outsource it for you to work, it'd be $2,500 to $4,000 for the cosmetics, or a full gut.
Not necessarily a full gut. That'll kind of be like the medium range. Just keep in mind with these things, They are travel trailers, they are fifth wheel. You don't want to put too much weight in them so that things break. You want to keep them nice and light so that you can move them around and you can tinker with them a little bit.
Okay. One of the things I have is, for bad credit, and we were talking a little bit before that we got on camera. Will banks and lenders, will they loan you money for this, or is it is it a high risk, or what's the whole thought process behind that?
Yeah, sure. The whole thought process behind that is that you can go and get a personal line of credit, like a personal loan for $5,000 or $10,000, and then you can go ahead and purchase your RV with that. I'm really not too sure if there is a loan type setup for RVs itself.
Okay. Maybe that's something we'll have to look into. Besides the point of that, I know you said there's some fees. What are the overhead costs if you're renting out a trailer for $2,000 a month? And then how do you actually rent it out? How are you getting these people to come and hit you up to rent it out?
Yeah, absolutely. So my process is that in my particular vacation area, I find RV resorts. They have pools, they have laundry, they have horseshoes, they have shuffleboard, they have all these different things that people can do at nights or on the weekends, things like that. For me personally, those park fees are right around $700 a piece, and then I go ahead and I rent them out for $2,000 a month. And so I'm making a pretty good amount of money each month.
Okay, so that's about $1,300 a month or so in cash flow. How are you actually getting those people to actually hit you up to rent it out? Are you using like Airbnb, or what do you
Yeah,
use?
so I'm using all three. So I think it's great to use Airbnb. They do their own vetting and background checking for all the tenants that are coming in. I also use Facebook Marketplace. Marketplace is huge. Everyone is on there. Every time I post a listing, I get tons and tons and tons of messages. And also Craigslist. The thing with Facebook and Craigslist, I do my own background check, so I set that up through a certain website that is in my course, and they go ahead and fill out the information. They pay for it themselves, obviously, and then the information is sent to me, and then I vet them. I go through all their information, and then I approve or decline the potential tenant.
Cool. So like I said, just like the inexpensive strategy to get involved with this method of investing into real estate, his course will be linked in the description below with his other social medias. His course is inexpensive. Be sure to check it out. Besides the point of that, how much can really be made? I know you said about 600 to 700 in fees. Is it just the more units or RVs you got, the more you're going to make, or how much can if I have 3 RVs, how much can I, or say I have 1 RV, how much can I expect to make per month?
Per month, so right now, one of my RVs makes about $95 a night. So if you get $95 a night times 30 night occupancy, you're looking at about $3,000 a month. But if you want to use the rule of thumb where it's like 70, 60, 65% occupancy, you're looking at about $2,300 a month of cash flow.
Okay, cool. Now this is RVs. One thing I always think about, with RVs or trailers, I'm not here to stereotype, but when you think of that, sometimes you think about a certain type of people. Have you ever had any bad tenants, like any tenants from hell? No, any situations like that?
Luckily, thank God, nothing yet. I've had one tenant that she was a little bit picky, but I took care of a couple of things that she wanted for me to do for her. But other than that, thank God, it's been smooth sailing.
Okay, and then you have a team that helps you run this, because I know you said you have 3, so are you doing this all by yourself? Are you doing the cleaning?
I'm flying solo, man. I'm flying solo. So the good thing about these is that they're so small that you can get in and out in about an hour or 2, and you can clean them. All they need, spray down the shower, vacuum. You can shampoo the rugs if needed, and wipe down all the surfaces, spray, disinfect, and you're good to go. So
if you got 1, how much would you really say somebody would have to invest as far as time commitment? Could this be done part-time? Could you travel and have this on the side, or how dedicated you have to be to actually accompany these RVs?
So if you set it up on Airbnb, you can just automate it through all the systems that Airbnb has, and along with your cleaner, you can just let them know, the check-ins and check-outs. For me, all 3 of my RVs are local, and I would say I put in maybe 5 hours a month in managing them.
Cool, so it doesn't seem like it's too much. So like I said, be sure to check him out. I'll put his links on screen and in the description, so you can go over, check him out, pick up his course if you want to get involved with something like this. Check out more content that him and I are going to drop on my channel. Again, thank you, man, for joining me on the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.